Hello and welcome to our July update from the TowNet team. You heard me, Fola, and it's the development update. Over to you, Karim, for your overview for the month.
Thank you, Fola, and welcome everyone to the July update for the Tau development team. Andrei continues to make steady progress on the testnet alpha. This month, he fully implemented the logic for creating, linking, and storing blocks, including pulling transactions from the mempool, linking blocks via their hashes, computing Merkle roots, and securely storing each block in the database. Additionally, he developed an extensive stress test that simulates users adding new rules via the pointwise revision, which, as we all know, is the defining feature of the Tau net. These performance tests have helped the rest of the development team identify some performance issues and address them, as we'll see next. David this month has been working on the switch from Z3 to CVC5 sat solvers. All initial tests are showing that CVC5 is giving us much better performance than Z3 was. So he went ahead and invested in moving all of our code base from Z3 to CVC5. He has done that. Doing that has allowed him to push the normalization further because he was blocked by some Z3 issues. And next, he'll be doing the same thing for the satisfiability and interpreter modules. This week, he also added some checks to go along with the switch to CVC5 to make sure that all features continue working, and he continued to fix issues as he would run into them. He also helped Umar debug the performance issue that was encountered by Andrei earlier. Lucca, before he went on a well-deserved vacation earlier this month, he made sure to finalize the specification for the function quantifier elimination algorithm and reviewed that with Ohad. He is now revising the pseudocode for the anti-pretexting algorithm before he can start implementing it. He's working with Tomáš to make sure that the switch to the new tree implementation goes without a hitch. Tomáš has updated the parcel library to be in header only, as Ohad prefers, and set up a nightly release build on GitHub for that. He also updated the Tau language itself to use the new parser library, and he resolved the last few issues that have to do with the tree switch. Umar, on his end, he worked on the performance on a parsing performance issue that Andrei uncovered. He ran some profiler checks and he discovered where the performance bottlenecks were. And he was able to adjust all that code. He made several adjustments that culminated in about 60% performance in parsing. He also completed the GC related tasks. And he also shared with me and Ohad some an innovation disclosure that perhaps might result in an additional patent regarding parsing. That's it for the development team. Back to you, Ohad. Follow.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Karim. I'll pass it over to you now, David, the update this month.
Thank you, Fola. Hi, everyone. This month, I've been working in the switch from set3 to CVC5, as all the tests that we have run point out that we get better performance than with set3. There were several hiccups during the changes, but nothing serious, as both APIs are quite similar. Also, I have gone further down the road and finally have normalization working with CVC5. In the case of set3, it was an ongoing task. And also, I have finished satisfiability and interpreter tasks. Right now, we are able to run bit vector equations, bit vector specifications, and get the results, which is a major topic for testing. Regarding the normalization, I finally implemented the approach suggested by Ohad. That means we keep all the literals until the end, and we solve the bit vector related stuff at the end. And the same goes for the interpreter and satisfiability. now what I'm doing is just testing everything regarding bit vectors mostly, and fixing the issues that I encountered along the way. And apart from that, I have helped Umar to deal with some issues, just checking the code and things like that. And that's all for my month. Thank you all for listening. Back to you, Fola.
And thank you very much, David. And I'll pass it over to you now, Lucca, for your update this month.
Thank you very much, Fola. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. So last month, I was researching ways on how to eliminate a Boolean function quantifier within the Tau language as we currently have it. And in this month, I was basically collecting my findings and turning it into an initial specification for an algorithm that would be able to eliminate function quantifiers. And we think in our use cases efficiently enough in order to support the tables feature, because that's what we'll be using this algorithm, so that we can specify properties about transaction tables, for example, but really any container type will be specified using this language of tables. Then further on the road, I integrated my findings on the function quantifier elimination algorithm into the pseudocode for the anti-prenex algorithm. The anti-prenex algorithm is the next algorithm we want to use for normalization of Tau formulas. As David mentioned, CVC5 will take care of bit vector formulas, but all the other formulas and logical types that we have are still handled by our own normalization. And this one currently has some performance bottlenecks, and the anti-prenexing algorithm was specially advised to overcome those. And so as a preparation also for the later coming function quantifier elimination algorithm, the anti-prenexing normalization algorithm has been adjusted so that there are no hiccups further down the road. Yeah, and now it's time to start implementing this algorithm. The pre-work is in the final stage. And in this effort, I have started using Tomáš's new tree implementation, as he has said over the last month or 2 months. He has been making a major switch in the Tau tree implementation. This switch is almost done, and I'm now familiarizing myself with it and helping to figure out the last remaining quirks. Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll give it back to you, Fola.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lucca. And I'll pass it over to you now, Andrei, for your update this month.
Hello everyone, I'm glad to share some of the progress that I've made over the past months with Tau testnet. Last month I successfully closed the next milestone in our testnet alpha development, that is block production and storage. So now the system correctly gets transactions from the mempool, assembles a block from those transactions, links a block hash to previous blocks, and constructs a valid block with correct Merkle root. And of course store each new block in the database. And by permanently storing blocks in the database, this process creates a persistent historical ledger that is foundational for our next milestone, that is persistent chain state. Currently the state constructs and stores in memory, but for the next milestone I'm gonna construct the state from the historical ledger going block by block from Genesis block, and this will create a reliable and correctly functioning blockchain foundation. Additionally, last month I created a complex tool to load test Tau interpreter. I assembled a carefully crafted Tau formulas to test each functionality of the Tau and emulate a blockchain behavior with pointwise revision. And this tool aims to help our developers to measure the performance and find bugs and help them to guide their efforts in Tau development. So that's all for this month. See you next month. I hope we will get a persistent chain state and maybe even a partially P2P networking, who knows. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Excellent stuff. Very much looking forward to testnet alpha alongside the community. And over to you now, Tomáš, for the update this month.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. This month, I've been fixing issues regarding the tree switch. I added the forgotten case for NSO BA negation. I fixed typo in a grammar. I did several fixes in BA type inference. And I fixed equality for zeros and ones when typed. And I did several fixes in solver test. And then I've also worked on the parser library. I've changed it so it works as a header-only library. I've added a Docker file for TGF tool and for building and releasing packages. I've set up nightly releases of the library and TGF tool, and I've also updated Tau language to use the improved parser library. That's all for now. Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Thank you so much. And Ohad, last but not least, over to you.
And so this month, I had to work a lot with the team and think about additional algorithms. And also at the KRR front, I was thinking about so-called domain-independent languages and see whether it helps us with the better decision procedures. And also reviewing a lot of new papers from the last 2-3 months that were published in the field of temporal logic, and even though they made some advancement, we are still very far ahead. So that's very good news. And yeah, and all the usual stuff, and that's basically it.
All packed in a nutshell. Thank you so much, Ohad. Excellent stuff. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you on Telegram, Twitter, Reddit, wherever you can find us. Also on our forum, it's tau.forum. So follow us on our socials. That's taunet, tau_net on Twitter, taunet on Telegram, and taunet Agrs on Reddit. All right. Cheers.